Emily, so great to meet you. How are you? How are you feeling? I hope you're okay.
I am really well, thank you. How are you, Bonnie?
I'm great. Oh my goodness. I listen, they only gave me 2 episodes of this, and I'm like, I want more. I need to finish this. I am actually in love with the series so far. So congratulations to you on this. And let's start with the books because obviously it is based on that popular young adult series. Was it something that you grew up with? Did you know about it before you even booked the role?
I did. I was a huge fan of the books before I booked this role, which meant that the prep process was quite easy for me. In fact, it was weirdly nostalgic to reread the books in preparation to play Harriet. But no, big fan. I was obsessed with them when I was about 10 or 11 through my early teenage years.
Okay, so I wanted then, okay, that's good to know because I wanted to know from you then, how did you, connect with Harriet? What did you see in yourself that you thought, a little bit like her?
Harriet reminds me so much of my younger self, and I think that's why the books resonated with me so much at that time in my life. Similarly to her, I felt like an outcast at school and I sort of struggled to fit in, and I started working in the film industry. And
Yeah.
I think it's similar to Harriet having to step into the modeling industry and sort of find her feet. So I related to a lot of her circumstance, but I also relate to her as a human being. It felt really healing to play Harriet and to sort of go on her journey of self-acceptance. And I sort of felt like I was doing that secondhand.
Yeah, and yeah, your heart kind of really goes out to her because, being a parent, there's nothing that pisses me off more than bullying. I'm sorry, I can't take it. I honestly, kids who grow up like this really need to go to special schools to learn how to behave. Honest, that's my theory. But to watch her and how she tries to handle it all, and and we know that she's on the spectrum, so it's all culminating. But she tries her best. How did you kind of embrace that, knowing also kids who do read the books, but also now that they're going to watch this series, you're kind of a role model a little bit. Is there a little pressure there?
There's for sure a little pressure there. I mean, I know that the books meant so much to me, and so I know that there are a lot of book fans who are anticipating this series, and even then bringing in a new audience of young people. There is definitely some form of pressure on there, but I've kind of put that to one side. I think the second you think about trying to be a role model, you lose what that means.
Right.
And I think the creative team on this show put a lot of trust in me, and vice versa. I put a lot of trust in them, and I just hope that we've done it justice. I think as a book fan, being able to watch the show and sort of step out of Emily the actor and just watch it as a viewer, I
Yeah.
think I enjoy it, and I just hope that we can spread that joy.
Yeah. Oh, you will. You will. I just had a big smile on my face watching it and how she, takes it on. Like I said, I can't wait to see where it goes. Okay. So obviously part of this journey is getting glammed up, the dresses, the makeup, the hair, the whole thing. Do you enjoy that kind of process in real life?
I think it depends what I'm getting dressed up for. I think my least favorite part of the job is the stuff that everyone expects me to enjoy, like I guess the glitz and glamour of it all.
Yeah.
I find it so overwhelming. Of course, you find the joy in it, especially when you're surrounded by people that are also enjoying it. But it's not my favorite. I love getting that experience on a set. So for example, doing it through Harriet Manners was so
Right.
much fun, doing
Yeah.
all the fashion stuff within the show. But in real life, it's really scary. It's
Well,
really
yeah.
scary.
Yeah,
And I
like
think
red
people
carpets and
definitely
things,
enjoy
like
it.
when you have to do red carpets and get,
Yeah.
all dressed up for press and all that kind of stuff. I mean, look, you have a team, there's people who put you together. I get that, but it's intimidating, I think.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I got to tell you, you look stunning in this series, and I wanted to know about when you started to, put on these fashions and all these types of things. Did you have any input in that? Like when you get dressed and you look in the mirror and go, I don't know, maybe that doesn't work, but maybe there's something else. Like, tell me a little bit about that process.
I for sure have more input on this than I have in other projects. I think with this, they wanted me to work very closely with the team, which was such
Mhm.
an amazing creative privilege, and so exciting for me. So I was very involved in the fittings, and Lucia, our costume designer, she was fabulous. I remember the first fitting, she had all these rails lined up, and it was all Harriet's regular clothes,
Okay.
unless stuff and less so the fashion stuff, just like Harriet being Harriet. And she
Yeah.
was like, just pick some stuff out. And I was like, what do you mean? Isn't that your job? And she was like, no, I've got it all here. You can help us piece things together. So that was exciting. And then when it came to the fashion stuff, Adele, head of makeup, who was also my makeup artist, it was very much a collaboration with, we had these amazing test days where we'd try out all these different makeup looks and different things with the wigs and stuff. It was so
Cool.
much fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, listen, you're kind of in a way living out a little bit of a fantasy. It's got to be for sure to have this, attention. And also the camaraderie between the cast. Tell me a little bit about working with this cast. Especially Liam Woodrum, who of course plays model Nick Park. Everybody just seems to me like it was hopefully a nice set to work on.
It was the best set, genuinely. And I know it's so cliche, and every actor says this about their shows, but it was like a family. We got along so well from day one. I feel so lucky to have had this experience with these amazing people and to have been supported by such an incredible cast. And
Yeah.
as you said, especially Liam, he's a legend. I adore him. I think our chemistry came very naturally from day one. We get along so well. I love him to bits. And yeah, as I said, feel so lucky and so appreciative.
Lovely. Did you have to go to modeling school or do something to learn how to do walk runways, things like that? Or
We
are you
actually
just a natural? Or you,
we actually worked with a choreographer throughout the rehearsal process at the very beginning of prep, which was really interesting to talk about, where everything sits in your body when you're walking. And also, of course, they wanted Harriet to have a slightly different walk so that she could stand out a bit more. So it was really
right.
interesting trying to find Harriet's walk, but we all kind of did our own research on, so everyone who had to do the walking, but even Manny, who played Wilbur, he even did some research on walking because of course he has to know everything because he's the model agent.
That's right.
So really interesting. We all kind of learnt on the job, but with each other, which was a bonding experience. Like having, I'm awful in high heels. I'm terrible in heels, similar to Harriet. I'm like Bambi on ice. And we all put on heels and walked with the choreographer. And I will
Good.
say, Declan, our director, put on some heels and also gave it a go, which was,
Okay.
it was amazing.
That's good. That's inspiring. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on the high heels, especially ever since COVID. I don't think I put anything other than running shoes on. Like that's it for me. I can't do it anymore. What I love too about Harriet and her family, her stepmom, her dad, they're very supportive. Who or what keeps you grounded in this crazy business?
100% my mum. My mum is my rock through and through and has been since day one. It's always just been me and her. So we're very close. Actually, she came to the screening, our little casting crew screening of Geek Girl the other day, and
Ah,
it honestly makes me emotional to even think about it. She is my everything.
oh, that's wonderful to hear. I think having good parents in this business is a key. I find too, especially when you're British. Got to say, I mean, I was interviewing the cast of Harry Potter since day one, and then to see when they were growing up and how amazing they were, and grounded. I think that's so important. So good on you. Okay, so we know from your career, Emily, you have a knack of taking roles of playing younger characters, people who get older a few years later. House of Dragons, everything that you've done, you're so good. So I want to ask you, if we have to see Harriet Manners maybe 10 or 15 years down the road, who do you think could play her?
That is a really good question. That's a really interesting question. I mean, I get told that I look like a lot of people.
Okay.
Um, People I haven't even played younger versions of. But I think focusing more on the character of Harriet. I mean, someone that I'd love to play the younger version of, just because we get told we look alike all the time, is Ella Hunt. And I think she's also a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
But focusing on the the character of Harriet, very strange, but I think Nicola Coughlan, even though we look nothing alike, could smash it.
See that. I can see that. Are you a Bridgerton fan, by the way?
Wig. I do like Bridgerton, yeah. I think it's a great show.
Yeah, yeah. Wait till you see this new Oh my God, season 3 is just, but Nicola is so, so wonderful. And so what are you looking at next after, after this? I'm hoping this series will go on for a while, but do you have anything else that you can tell us about that's coming up?
Unfortunately, there's not a lot that I can say, which
All
again, I
right.
know every actor says. I did a fun little film end of last year, and hopefully I'm attached to another indie film which has been announced. So technically I can talk about it, but hopefully that will come into fruition soon as well. But yeah, I'm seeing what happens next. It would be amazing to revisit Harriet at some point, but who knows?
Well, I'm not worried about you. We're going to be seeing you for many, many years to come. I tell you, you're such a wonderful talent and a lovely young lady. And I really do want to thank you so much for your time today, Emily. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And just best of luck with the series. I wanted to keep going, and you're fantastic in it. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. That really does mean a lot.
Oh, you're so welcome, Emily. And come visit us here in Toronto sometime, okay?
I'd love to.
All right, I'm holding you to that. Take care and have a wonderful weekend.
You
Okay,
too. Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.